everyone, it's Jess, and it's been a long time since I did a What Sold on eBay video. So here's mine for September 2024. Now, normally I'd go on camera for a minute or two, but I've been really sick with a head cold the last few days. I don't look like I should be on camera at all, and I probably don't sound like it either. But here I am. If I sound a little bit stuffed up, I'm sorry. But it's just been a long time since I did one of these videos. And since we have just received the Entrepreneur of the Year award from eBay, I think it's time for me to come back around, give eBay a little bit of love back, and do some of these what sold videos. So I'm just going to share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, so um, overall, the last few months have been down a little bit in sales. For this year to date, we're down about 9% over 2023. And September was a little bit of a frustrating month, but I do have a few pretty cool things that sold that I want to share with you. And so I'll talk a little bit about what they are, where we got them, and give you some information. So this Camrose and Cross Jackie Kennedy brooch and earring set, this was part of a pick that we had got in the spring that had an absolute metric ton of jewelry in it. A lot of it was costume jewelry, which initially disappointed us until we realized that there were some brands in there that were highly sought out. This was one of them, the Camrose and Cross, and another one was the Joan Rivers. We had some valuable and rare Joan Rivers pieces in there as well. It was selling pretty fast. The most desirable pieces are, of course, already gone, but we still have probably a couple hundred pieces left. And this one went for $55.99. I'm really happy. There's no precious metals in this. It's costume jewelry. Even my feature photo here is really not that good. Maybe I should have used the second one. Um, so maybe that's why it took a little bit longer to sell. But $55.99, I'm pretty happy with that for a piece of costume jewelry. Now, if your kids are around, send them away. We received from some junk, a pile of junk, a 3 boxes, I think, of these adult theme paperbacks. Now, one time a few years ago, Johan bought a box of these for 20 bucks from a yard sale, and he brought them home to show me, and I laughed and I said, "Why did you buy smut? That's ridiculous. No one will want that." And I was so wrong. I remember that $20 back then turned into 12 or $1,400, I think, in books. So when we received 3 more boxes of these, we knew that there was some money to be made for sure. And these are actually kind of hard to sell. eBay has significant restrictions when it comes to adult material. Um, so I have adult themed paperback lot, and then I've covered up the very obvious nudity on one of the covers. These probably sold in like, I want to say like 15 or 20 minutes, like really fast, but I'm really okay with that. This isn't the kind of inventory I want in my store all that long anyway. So I'm happy for it to go. Now, some of these books were so risque that I would not even attempt to sell them on eBay. I mean, these are the ones that didn't have nudity on the cover. Some of them were really, really bad. In fact, some of them were so bad that we didn't even feel ethically good about selling them, and we actually destroyed those ones. But we still have a whole bunch left to sell, and some of them I'm going to have to use a different website to sell them on. But these ones seem to be okay, and off they go. We've sold quite a few lots of these already, and they go really quick. So this old pulp sleaze or smut novels, especially 1960s, 1970s era, really popular, fast sales. This one was also in a load of junk that we got a few months back, and there was a whole bunch of these leather Chic Sparrow notebook covers in the lot. And I remember there were a couple other brands too. This isn't a product that I would use, and to be honest, it hadn't really occurred to me that people would collect these, but they really do. There's a whole like Facebook group for Chic Sparrow notebook covers. People are very particular about the colors. They have like retired colors that people seek out. And most of these had never been used. I think there were 7 or 8 of them in this lot. And I was surprised when I started doing a little bit of research that, in fact, they're very expensive. If you want to buy them off the Chic Sparrow website, you're definitely looking at $100 to $200, depending on the piece that you want. And so I priced most of these around the $50 mark. A couple of them sold really fast. Some of them took a bit longer. And this was the very last one. So this was a sellout on a Chic Sparrow. I guess that's something to look up if you can pick it up for cheap at a garage sale or something like that. They are good. I did not know how to identify the color. And I actually did have one returned to me because the buyer didn't like the color, or she's like, I thought it was champagne and it's not. And I was like, okay. I didn't know. And I don't know how I would have even ever known because they didn't come with tags that said what color they were. But anyway, in the end, they're all sold out. And I guess all of the other buyers are happy. This I actually took a best offer of $120 on. I'm not exactly sure what it does. It's obviously some kind of sound equipment equalizer thing. We were actually driving back from dropping off our packages, and there was bags and bags of stuff sitting out on the front steps of a house that we drove by. And so we went around to the back alley and found that they were clearing it out and throwing everything into a junk truck. So we stopped and said, "Oh, like, are you getting rid of all that?" They said, "Yeah, there was a little bit of like water damage in the house, and we're just clearing this out so the house can be sold. But yeah, if you want to take anything, go ahead." And we were like, "Okay, cool." So we picked out a small load of electronics. Some of this sound equipment can be really valuable. We didn't really know what we were picking. We just threw it all in the truck and then went home and assessed it later. But because we knew that it had gotten damp, and we're not sound people, not good at testing this stuff, I was just selling these for parts. If these are in working condition, they can be pretty expensive units, but I don't care. I got them for free. So I took an offer of $120 on these two units. I knew that they powered on. That was all I knew. And off they went. So good. That was a good flip there from free to $120. This actually also sold for $120. I'm super disappointed with my feature photo here. I don't know what I was thinking, why it didn't get cropped. I think it was me who made this listing, so I don't know where my head was at that day. But anyway, we picked up this big lot of Polly Pocket from a yard sale in Seattle for $5 and flipped it for 120. Now, it was a huge and heavy box, and I think we ended up losing like another $20 or so on the shipping. But still 5 into 100. You're not going to complain about that flip. We didn't bother sorting. We didn't really try to figure out what we had here. This is all Polly Pocket stuff from like around 2003 to 2005. So I figured it wasn't the highly desirable things because I think those are from the 90s. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it, knowing that I could flip it for 20 times my money or more relatively fast. And that's exactly what happened. We bought this in June and it sold in September, $120. I can't remember where this came from, but maybe it was an estate clear out that we did. There were two of these Burke's silver ring boxes, and this one is pretty cool because it has Burke's on it, but also this company called Dingwall, which, like, I think when I look back into the history of Burke's in Montreal, they had like taken over Dingwall at some point, and for a while they were operating using both the company names. And this ring box is from that era. So interesting piece historically. You get way more than its weight in silver for these ring boxes. So 199.99, I believe I got for this. And they're tiny. It's just a little ring box. It weighs like, you know, I don't know, probably 50 or 60 grams, including the cushion in there. So excellent flip. I don't remember where we got it. It was probably just part of a lot of something. So I'm going to say that our cost of goods on it was probably between 0 and $2. Oh, I love this one. This is from a junk load. I actually think I did 20% off on this, and I think I sold it for a best, not for best offer, but I did offers to watchers, and I think I sold this for 99.99. This vintage Fisher Price from 1979, the year I was born. It is brand new in the box, never been removed. A little bit of damage to the box, as you might expect, and it was part of a lot of, I think it was a garage or something that was being emptied out, and we got access to the stuff that was in there, and there was a whole bunch of new old stock toys as well as shoes and a few other games and some cool items in there. So this was a good flip for us at $100. Oh, this one I love. This one came from a junk truck that we got access to, and this was pretty cool. So I guess this clear out, the guy was a dentist. I mean, obviously, and had kept a lot of the tools from his career, but his career was in like the 1950s. So this was like some pretty old school dental stuff, and there was all kinds of neat little items in here. We had like little like abrasive things and different things to like hold your mouth open and like a denture mold thingy. All these different dental tools. Lots of cool stuff in here. I didn't know what all of it was or what it's used for, but obviously, like somebody did, or somebody who's into collecting dental stuff new and picked this up for 199, which I thought was a fantastic flip. And oh, he's even got his like I love his art deco like name tag, Mr. Carpenter. That came off of the jacket that I'm sure that he would have worn. This is just very cool, kind of old medical stuff. I think a lot of people are into these collectibles. I personally find them interesting too, but I wouldn't keep them for myself. Hopefully, these go into some kind of curated little home museum or something. I love them. So a while back, we bought a collection of Star Wars and action figures and toys, all from 1977 to 1983, and quite a lot of them were factory sealed. So this is like a unicorn of purchases. We spent a not small sum of money. This was a four-figure purchase, and we got a few items which we decided to keep for now that we think maybe will go up in value. And then we were able to sell off a lot of these sealed toys. It's very, very hard to find them in the boxes and even harder to find them factory sealed. And we got 4.99 for this one. And I believe this buyer bought two or three other ones, and they were over in Great Britain. So they bought a few items from us. We made our money back within a day or two on the items that we listed, and we still have many more to go. And we have actually, there's a whole box from that collection that we haven't even listed yet, which I'll try to get up as we head into the busy Q4 holiday season because I think those might sell quickly at that time. License plates I always have to share. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I love license plates. I love vintage ones. Now, these I had originally listed for $40 for the three. I think I took an offer of 27 on them. I no longer care. We got a huge load of license plates last September. Yeah, so it was like a year ago that we were just given from by somebody who was clearing out their parents' house. These people had their eye on the prize. They knew that they were selling a $5-6 million home. So they had no attachment, no financial attachment, and really no emotional attachment either to the items inside the house. And they pulled all these license plates out for us and gave them to us. And that was really cool. We were super excited that day. So obviously, we have made a very big profit on these. We probably still have 50 or 60, no, probably even more of them left. It was a huge load. It was like 250 or 300 license plates. So at this point, I don't care too much what I'm getting for them. I just want them out the door. So if you're interested in buying them, you can probably make some pretty low offers on what we have left, and I'll probably get them out to you. But anyway, $27 for these three Quebec license plates from the 1970s. Pretty cool. It's all profit now. And then the last one I want to share with you is this matchbook lot. And really, the reason that I'm sharing is because I'm surprised at how fast this sold. Matchbooks are one of those sort of pieces of ephemera that I think a lot of people try to sell them. It's kind of like postcards, there's lots of them available. It's kind of a saturated market. Figuring out which ones are special isn't worth my time. And these are all sort of travel related ones. They go pretty far back, I think. There's like 5-digit phone numbers. So, like, they're not super old. Anyway, I thought they were pretty cool and I put them up for 80 bucks. I think I did offers to watchers of 10% off and they sold for 72. So I was pretty pumped about that. Oh, look, I didn't even notice this one is Las Vegas deflation special 14-ounce steak. Is that what that is? For $1.95 deflation special. Come on, that's great. Yeah, so these sold quickly. I don't know why. If you know why, leave a comment and let me know what I missed because this is the kind of thing that I am highly likely to fumble. as we all know, I have a tendency to fumble really good stuff from time to time. And part of that is just I have this urge to push items out the door really quickly and make back my investment or what I spent on them. And or I get the items for really, really cheap or free. And so for me, maximizing the profit isn't always the most important thing. But yeah, if you see something that I missed here, let me know. Educate me. I would be very, very curious. So that's all for today. There's my 15 minutes. Now I'm tired. So when I'm feeling better, I'll post another video that I'm actually in. There may not be a podcast next week because we are going to Ottawa to celebrate our Entrepreneur of the Year award with eBay people there. So I might not have time to record an episode to go live that week. Otherwise, if not, I'll be back in 2 weeks with a video or a new podcast episode for you. And we look forward to seeing you then. Want more videos like this? Make sure to click like, subscribe, and leave a comment below to tell me what you want to see more of.